Tesla has been updating FSD like crazy ever since version 12 was first released. About every 10 days, we are getting a new full self-driving update to version 12. Now, all of these updates so far have been seemingly small. We've gone from 12.3 to 12.3.1.2, and now we're finally on version 12.3.5, the latest update we have for Tesla's full self-driving software. While the improvements and changes from version 11 to version 12 have been massive, the changes in between these smaller updates are not as obvious. A lot of people are using this software now and finding different things that are either annoying or bad for them, but in my experience so far, there's a couple of consistent problems that I'd like to see fixed. Number one, hesitation at empty intersections is pretty awful. FSD seems to get confused when there are no other vehicles around and is extremely hesitant, especially when you compare it to an intersection that has lots of vehicles around. FSD is very good at proceeding when it is finally clear to go. Another one is lane dancing or wiggling or whatever you want to call it. This can happen in a few scenarios, but the most common for me is if you have a lane change coming up, the car will sometimes wiggle in between the two lane options until it finally picks the lane that it wants to be in. Most of the time, this is extremely subtle, but it can be annoying, especially to the people behind you, and sometimes the car will do it for a pretty great distance, although other times the car almost immediately picks its lane and does it correctly. There's of course a lot more, but I will let you be the judge of that as we go throughout these videos. Now this drive is just kind of a first impressions and testing out this latest version, so I'm going to cut it up, but I will provide a link to the full uncut video below. Anything exciting that happens, good or bad, will be included in this video, but just in case anybody doesn't believe me and doesn't trust me, that's totally fair. I will put that full uncut video below. And as we look at this latest FSD update, I also have to give you the latest update on today's sponsor, DeleteMe. I've personally been using DeleteMe for nearly a year now, and in that time, DeleteMe has reviewed almost 7,000 listings from 127 different data brokers and successfully removed my information from 406 listings across 75 data brokers. What are data brokers? They are online entities that collect and sell your personal data, including your name, your address, your phone number, where you work, and all kinds of other information. This information can then be used against you for identity theft, phishing, or other scams. Imagine this, your car, much like a smartphone on wheels, is collecting data on every trip you make. It sounds pretty crazy, but this is becoming more normal for every car on the road. And this Florida man found out the hard way when his Cadillac spilled the beans on his driving habits, which led to sky-high insurance rates. Well, that's where DeleteMe comes in to guard your personal information. With DeleteMe, you're not just reacting to privacy threats, you're also preventing them. And the best part is it's as easy to use as Tesla Autopilot. You set it up and then they do the heavy lifting, continually monitoring and removing your data. And DeleteMe is offering you, my viewers, a special 20% discount on any privacy plan by using my link. Just click the link in the description or in the pinned comment below to get started. Thank you to DeleteMe for sponsoring this portion of the video. Since I'm cutting all this up, I can start in slightly more boring areas because normally I try to get right into the action, but here I can skip the boring stuff but do the stuff that's interesting about the boring stuff. So getting out of a parking lot. We were in that parking spot, I did pull forward into it, so I parked the car like that. And then you hit go and immediately we take off from our spot, which older versions were not really good at. So waiting for this person to our right, and right out here we have some construction to contend with. We'll see if the car can deal. And then we'll be in downtown. So we want to make the right here. It's a little tight. There is room, but it's tight. Yeah, I don't blame the car for waiting here. I think at this point I would scoot up, but I probably would have stopped here and, been careful. Okay, traffic's getting backed up, but it's not our fault. Yeah, FSD 12.3.5 is just not confident in the amount of space it has here. I mean, now there's definitely room, but it wanted to wait. It waited. We'll move up. We have one car to our left, and then we can continue directly into the construction. So nice takeoff there, and I would hope we'll immediately move over. Oh yeah, that's nice. So legally, you do have to turn into that, out of the parking lot into that first lane, and then the car correctly moves away from the construction. Great job with that. Still no cones being displayed in this version. So there's a little bit of the indecisiveness in the lane change there. Probably not that big of a deal because it was kind of in the intersection. And I do get the comment a lot about it being illegal to change lanes in an intersection. And in Michigan, that's actually not true. There's no like specific law saying that you can't change lanes in an intersection, but still probably a good thing for the car to avoid. So we're changing lanes to the right here when we have a left turn coming up. So that's kind of annoying, like old behavior. It would do that in older versions. Now it is changing back, but it's just like, I didn't see a message as to why it was doing that. That tentacle movement there was also really smooth, how it kind of moved over. This person, I don't know what they're doing. Wow, the car nicely moved around them. I don't know if they're coming out or they're getting into that parking spot. Hard to tell. We'll see if this blinking yellow trips us up, but no, that looked great. And then we got to move around this guy. Look at all that. So moving around these parked cars on the sides of the road has been very good for a while. And it just feels so smooth and natural in these versions as well. The car's not robotically like heading towards an obstacle and then like, moving around it. It's just kind of smoothly doing what it has to do. So again, we're going to go here in older versions before version 12. Version 11 and older versions would always get stuck at those barrels up there. Version 12 has done this successfully 2 times so far. So we'll see if we can do it again. First, we'll wait for some pedestrians and I need to stop talking. The car's trying to park here. Oh. It's going into, that's awesome. This is the parking lot. I'm not sure if we were really supposed to pull in there, but it felt good. Yeah, how else would you get in here? Sweet. Okay, so it pulled into the parking lot. That was my bad. I'll probably just have to turn it around here. There's no reversibility yet, so that's supposedly coming in a future update. But yeah, the car's pretty much stuck here. I also gave it a new destination, so let me just turn it around. All right, so I put it back into drive. I'm not even going to straighten it out or anything. I'll let it get its bearings here, and we'll just turn this on and let it handle everything that it can. So I just turned it around and did nothing else. And yeah, this is cool. I actually, to be totally honest, had no idea you could drive through there. I had no clue that was even an option, and the car had no problem doing that. It does seem a little confused here, though. You might need some help. I will let it sit and see if it gets out of here. So you can see this shadow on the ground. It looks like it's unsure that that's drivable space, even though it literally just drove over it. So here's where I talk about being a human and having some memory. If you've never seen this scene before, I mean, the stop sign kind of gives it away in my opinion, but if you've never seen this scene before, I could see how you'd be confused trying to drive on there. And let's see, does he have room? Yeah, he does. But since we literally just drove over it, oh, is it gonna go now? Do it. It's finally moving forward. That's amazing. It took it a really long time, and obviously you'd never actually wait that long, but it's finally going to do it. Anyway, you'd know you can drive on that because you just drove on it, and the car just doesn't. All right, I'm pushing it. There you go. There's an intervention. It's just taking too long. So I just gave it a tap. So it can still stop at the stop sign if it wants, and then continue forward. So we got to 0, and now you need to move. Now it's, okay, it's moving. Obviously very timid here. We're basically driving on a sidewalk, so I'm not surprised. All right, I'm giving it another tap. We've been waiting long enough. Are you gonna go on your own? You're just standing in the sidewalk. All right, let me just push you forward here. Wow, the car is definitely confused by all this. It has no path, it has nothing. Oh, there you go. Now it's figuring it out. Interesting. That'll be interesting to come back there. So basically it was confused by the sidewalk there. It's going to get real close to this curb if it continues, which it needs to. Oh, there it goes. Nice. Okay, so I didn't have to interfere there. Wow, needed a lot of help on that, but it's finally continuing. And then will it make it through here as it has the past 2 times? No. You tried to drive into, like, look, what the heck? Why would you try to drive here? Now I got to back up. So there's disengagement. So 2 times in a row it's done that successfully, and this time it screws it up. Like, awesome. And of course no one wants to let me go because I'm a big dum-dum. They're like, oh, get this idiot out of here. That's crazy that it tried to go that way and hasn't messed that up since. So in older versions it would just stop there. It wouldn't try to drive into that. This time FSD wanted to just move in there. And there is a good stop for the yellow. Tiny bit hard, but not a big slam on the brakes like last time, and 100% appropriate in my opinion. All right, left turn. We do have some pedestrians crossing the road. It is their right of way. And FSD does a great job waiting for them. They were moving pretty slow, so I was ready to hit the brake in case FSD was going to try to cut them off or something, but pedestrian interactions have been great for a really long time. It's appropriately waiting and moves as soon as their feet leave the road, which is the legal way to do it. All right, so we got the right. We should move through quickly here. Oh, but there's traffic backed up here. So this is normally how it is. There's not much room. But nice, this is what we got to do. This guy's got 8 pens in his car, and we're unfortunately blocking the crosswalk, but I don't know what else we would have done. I don't know, I guess wait at the light and just skip every light cycle. No, I think this is actually the right move. I hate blocking the crosswalk, but there's nowhere else to go. So then you have a pedestrian to our right who is about to go across the crosswalk, even though they have a stop sign. So she's just standing next to our car. And let's see, will FSD continue? The person in front of me won't even move. It's just, oh, someone's parking. It's just jam-packed down here. There's not much room for anyone to move around. Nicely handled. Get away from that parking person. Awesome. So we're in a good position here, and those hazards, I assume, mean they want to park, but I think you're supposed to use your blinker, your right blinker, but that's all right. I guessed correctly. Is FSD gonna? No, it's just gonna get out of here. I like that. Just get out of the way. There's a Coca-Cola truck. Somebody really liked that last time. So there you go. It's here again. Wow. So that was pretty interesting. So it seems that FSD kind of preempts people turning now. So in older versions, when a car would be stopped here and turning, FSD would hit the brakes really hard. Whereas a person is like, yeah, I know they're turning, I'm going to continue going. I don't have to brake that hard because I know they're going to be out of my way by the time I get there. Well, FSD now acts more like a human in that regard, but in that exact scenario, they didn't get to turn because a pedestrian was in their way. So obviously we stopped in time. It wasn't a big deal, but the stop was a lot harder because FSD was going to basically continue assuming they were going to move out of our way. And we'll have some pedestrians to contend with here. And I love this auto set speed because the speed limit's 30, but I always felt like that was a little too fast. And the car is pretty much agreeing with me here. So that if the car agrees with me, that means it's good. It's going below 30 because the streets are tight. There's lots of parked cars. There's pedestrians. So waiting there nicely. And we can continue. Cautious, but good. And I'm very thankful they changed this intersection. The car used to always mess this up. The lines weren't painted, etc. But now they've switched this to just one lane. This used to be 2 lanes. It was very confusing. So now you got a single straight or left lane. And it works really well. Wow, great stop at our stop sign. And then, wow, okay, never mind. The car saw that before I did. Great stop at the stop sign. I was going to praise it for moving through, but I didn't see those pedestrians walking in front of us, and the car did. So it stopped for them. These A-pillars, I mean, they're not huge A-pillars, but I find modern cars all have pretty big A-pillars. Another good pedestrian stop. They were behind my A-pillars, so until they got to, out a little bit, I didn't see them, but the car saw them the whole time. And we'll keep waiting for pedestrians, which is fine with me. And after these few, yeah, the car takes off as soon as it kind of gets that opportunity. It moves through there. Very nice. Again, waiting for pedestrians here. We don't have a stop sign, and the person to our left does. So they thought about taking our opportunity, but the pedestrian stopping us was also stopping them. So no, it's my turn. Now here is where we actually went on the other side of the road last time. It looks like they're done here and they've moved the cones over. And FSD had moved through. This light was red and it continued through. Oh, nice. Let's see. But I couldn't see it because the light was over there, and I assume it was blocked by my mirror or something, but I didn't see it. I basically saw the red light through the roof in that last video. So I had no idea when it changed. So I'm not giving the car an excuse, but I would have done the same thing because last I saw it was green. We get our green. I'll change our route. We'll see how the car deals with that. It's been very good at dealing with route changes here. So it would have continued straight if I would have changed the route earlier, which is why I waited. But it's going to accelerate here and turn left onto this road. So we did this before. It was a little timid. We got a turn signal on nicely. And we have to yield to the person turning right there. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. Look at how these people are using the stop sign. I doubt they're getting below 5 miles an hour. It's so funny. Like, this guy's not even, there's a pedestrian crossing, and he's still just like, it's just crazy. It's just crazy. So that's why, FSD gets a 0, and people are like, oh, it's so slow. And I agree with you. It's kind of weird. But that's just what you got to do. And then it waited for that car, which they did not have a stop sign, so it was fine for them to go in front of us, and then it continued. So it did a nice job. But that guy was going fast. I'm sure he was also speeding, but he's, parking enforcement. He doesn't have to follow the law, and he can speed, and FSD has to wait for him. So we'll take another left here, and it looks fairly clear. Let's see, 0, and then 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi, 6 Mississippi, 7 Mississippi, 8 Mississippi, 9 Mississippi, 10 Mississippi. So about 10 seconds of creeping before the car will take off. And that's why I kind of go, back and forth on this. It's 10 seconds. Like, it's not changing anybody's day. It's also super annoying. If I was behind somebody and there was absolutely no traffic and they were doing that, I'd be like, come on, what are you doing? So I see why people disagree on that. Waiting for another pedestrian here. It's also wickedly windy outside, so I feel bad for these people walking around. And she touches the sidewalk, but we're going to keep waiting because there's another pedestrian. I don't know why he stopped. He does not have a stop sign. Now we can continue, except we got a cyclist. And FSD is always watching in all directions, so it saw that cyclist. That's a scary, especially for a cyclist, doing that when I have my right turn signal on. If I'm not paying attention, or more likely I'm looking to the left to make my right turn, I could easily turn into somebody like that. And that's a huge advantage FSD has. It always is looking at all angles. So it sees that cyclist coming up, it sees them when it's looking to the left and right. I mean, that is a huge relief for me right there. You can put up with all the annoyances of FSD, and it can save you from that interaction with a cyclist one time. It's worth 10 times the annoyances you get with FSD. I mean, in my opinion, by far. How would you disagree with that? You're like, no, I'd rather hit a cyclist one time in my life than be inconvenienced by FSD. I don't think you can disagree with that. So another pedestrian wait, or as that person didn't, and legally they should have waited for that pedestrian. And now you need to get out of the way. See, honked at. I'm not sure why though. I don't agree with that honking. I think they're in the wrong. So complete stop, we get to 0, and we immediately continue. So they didn't have a chance to honk at us that time, although I bet, and they took off. They never stopped at the stop sign. They didn't stop, they just went right through as soon as I moved through. I don't know. People are the problem most of the time, in my opinion. So we'll look for cross traffic here. Looks good. All right, hey, as soon as I say looks good, car moves forward. So pick a lane here. Oh, look at that. A lot of the things that the consistent, I see my camera's going crazy here. A lot of the consistent problems I'm talking about are not, or a lot of the problems I'm talking about are not that consistent, I should say. All right, I really messed up the nav here. Let's see what it does. Oh, you can't do that. Don't do it. Just go straight. All right. I'm going to take over. You could partially consider that my fault, but the car should know better. I basically changed the nav there to see if it would really screw it up, and it definitely did. Nah, you got to keep going. There's people coming. It's so stupid. You can't just slow down in the middle of the road and decide a new route here. All right. Yep. Good. I screwed up its routing again. There you go. Let's see. Can you do this? Now you got it. So that's still, I don't know. I don't think it's that big. The car was screwing up. Everyone's like, oh, you're making excuses for it. You got to understand when I'm making these comments, I'm on video talking to you. I'm in my head fighting for my life in the comments, because when I say a good thing, basically, if you disagree with me, you're going to comment. If you agree with me, you don't. So I'm trying to answer both of y'all. The car screwed up. It did the wrong thing. On the other hand, in a normal circumstance, you're not going to sit here and be changing the route like that at the last second, blah, blah, blah. It could happen. It could come up. But, yeah. So it needs to just continue on until it can safely make a maneuver. You can't just sit in the middle of the road and not move, or wait to cross over 2 lanes, and not do anything. So we screwed it up again. That's something I haven't been able to mess it up with in a long time. So we'll continue testing that then. So unprotected left, and shouldn't be a problem. I didn't see Chuck's videos on 12.3.4, but y'all were commenting saying his car sucked. It wasn't able to do his left turn. I never got a chance to go look at it, but I'll have to check it out. Yeah, we can't go yet. So this will be interesting because we'll probably get the yellow and the car will need to finish up. Look at this. It turns yellow and it's moving forward. That guy ran the red. Yes! Yes! So a legal human running the red, and FSD legally moves through its red because it was in the intersection. It was its only opportunity that whole time. Handled perfectly. Again, humans are usually the problem. I'm not saying FSD is perfect, but yeah, that's usually how it goes. Left at this stop sign, and there's a truck parked in the road there, so that'll be in our way. So see, absolutely no one around. It's kind of doing this thing where it's like, go, stop, just go. Wow, not much room here. Oh, it's close. All right, not that bad. It looked like it was going to be really close. Nice, beautiful dumpster there. All right, very nice. So we're trying to stay away from the cyclists, but we need to be in that lane. Yeah, just stop behind them. That's what you do. Oh no, she's running the red. Okay, she stopped. She's just going to run the red. I was like, holy crap. Very nice distance here from the cyclist. Plenty of room. Very safe. And she runs the red. Well, that's illegal. What are you going to do? Oh, and there's a cop behind me. He didn't even care. Is it not illegal? What the heck? I thought it was illegal for a cyclist to run a red light. Well, whatever. So we're going to stay behind her, and we're going to keep a good distance. Happy with this so far. And she runs the stop sign. Oh, come on. That's illegal. You just don't care? All right, fine. We'll stop at 0 because there's a cop behind us, but also because there's pedestrians. And they're stopping in the road and pointing at things. Oh, beautiful. Great job. So let's see. Is he going to give me a ticket because I went when they were still in the crosswalk? Nah, he just turned right. I guess cyclists can run red lights and stop signs, y'all. I didn't know that. That's pretty good. Good to know. Good information to have. All right, back in the busy part, we got our green. There's actually room for us to proceed here. Oh my goodness. Oh, that person's running over the curb. Why does that happen? Oh my gosh, they're driving on the curb. Ah, that happens every time. She's still, okay, she just got off the curb. Holy crap. I guess I shouldn't laugh too much. I had FSD drive on the curb one time, but yo, she like fully went on the curb and just didn't care. She just kept going. Oh my gosh. And then is this guy pulling out? Yeah, he must be coming out. Okay, we'll see. We'll see what FSD does. I don't think it's going to let that guy out, but oh, it is. It's not budging. Okay. Sorry, I doubted you. I didn't think FSD would notice that at all. But it waited. And then this busy intersection, these are kind of the hardest parts of the drive almost. This intersection and then the right turn coming up. Oh, don't stop here. I would have went through. Oh, well. All right, we got the green. Move up. Get in the intersection. You freaking, that guy's not going. What is happening? Nobody's going. Yeah, this thing needs to move up into the intersection big time. And if not, I'm intervening. Oh, it just started to do something. There you go. That was not me. All right, I'm pushing it through. This is stupid. So I tapped the accelerator there, and it finished the maneuver all by itself. So that's another intervention. I'm not missing that light cycle again. You can complain if you want, but I think that's pretty reasonable. I mean, it had a chance, and it wasn't moving, so I pushed it through. All right, here's the busy pedestrian crosswalk. So they stopped so that the van could move through, and now people are going to go again, and FSD will basically wait until it gets an opportunity here. Yeah, I like the scooch up. If it was assertive there, it for sure could have moved through, but because people are waiting. Oh, wow, they're waiting a long time. Holy moly. I'll wave at him. Nobody ever waits that long. All right, we made it through. So here's the right turn that I think 2 times it's done correctly and 1 time it's screwed up. Actually, it looks like that guy, oh no, he was picking someone up. All right. Well, we have a lead car here, so I think they're going to help FSD. Well, the nice thing is not even close to screwing it up that time. So it's gone in and out of those lanes, even with cars in front of us in the other examples. And this time it went right to the stop sign and then is turning right. So that could possibly be fixed. I'll have to do it some more. It's hard because this is Stephanie's car, so I don't have it every day like I used to. Or else I'd be coming down here every day to screw with this thing. But there you go. Successfully did that. That's 3 out of 4. So we need a lot more than that, but not bad. And then let's do this tough left turn up here and be done. Looks like an F-150 Lightning that's owned by the university. That's pretty cool. They just did a big fat illegal U-turn there. So we're at our stop sign, and this is where we get a lot of pedestrians and lots of vehicles all trying to get through this tiny little intersection. Does it not make sense? Like, to me, I feel like these busy intersections, you could build like a little mini pedestrian bridge so they could walk over the road. Is that just too expensive? I mean, it'd be so much safer, and then, you know, traffic could actually drive through here. But there's actually a vehicle stopped in our way up there. So let's see. I like this moving forward. And look, he's stuck in the intersection because of the pedestrians. That's kind of how it goes. And these people say, forget this, we're just going to go, which I don't blame them. But him being stuck in the intersection up there, that's pretty much what you got to do, or else you're never going to make it through. All right, after these pedestrians, you gotta move it. You gotta move it. People just keep walking out. All right, after these pedestrians, nope, somebody else is, oh, go, 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 do it. Do it. Are you gonna do it? What are you doing? Oh man, I didn't think it was gonna make it. Nice. And then the assertiveness through is good. What is this? You can't park here. Wow, sick. Let's go. There's nobody in that car. What the heck are you thinking parking there? That's crazy. And then tight streets, cyclists, other vehicles. We're a little close to the cars to the right for my taste, but obviously handling it. Sweet. Hope you enjoyed.